Hey everybody, I want to discuss a topic that is trending all over the internet lately. It is cesarean shaming, also known as C-section shaming. I saw it was from, from the Disciples of the New Dawn Church Facebook page. Somebody had posted this picture. Let me see. Okay. My phone's kind of messing up. Anyways, somebody had posted this picture that said, "Face the facts, you didn't really give birth. You caught a lucky break. Please show respect to superior women who actually had what it took to get the job done." No, that's bullshit. Just because you had a C-section does not mean that you're any less of a mother and that you don't deserve credit in actually giving birth. A C-section doesn't mean that you don't have what it takes to get the job done. There's many different factors that can cause you to have a C-section. Let me give you the backstory on, because I personally had a C-section, and let me give you the backstory on what happened to me. Well, it was getting close to my due date. I was like a week away, and I wasn't dilating at all, where most people would dilate, 1 or 2, whatever. I wasn't dilating at all. So the doctor had told me, okay, if you don't dilate in this certain amount of time, whatever, then we're gonna induce you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go, it was October 24th, 2011, and I go to the hospital at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and they start the induction. Well, the induction doesn't work. I ended up having some like labor pains and everything, but it was like, I had some contractions, but nothing was really happening. I didn't dilate at all. So the next day, which was the 25th, they kind of just made me like chill out all day, which was really boring. I just had to sit in the hospital bed all day long, waiting, and nothing happened. So then, the morning of the 26th, they induced me again, and I dilated to like 1 or 2, I think, and then they decided to break my water. So they broke my water. I dilated to, I think, a 4, like pretty quickly, and then I stayed there. I stayed at a 4 for, it had to have been at least like 3-4 hours, something like that, where usually I think after your water breaks, you should dilate like, I want to say it's like 1 centimeter every hour. I could be wrong, but either way, they said that I was not dilating how I should have been. So they came in around 4:30, or like 4:15, 4:30, and they said, okay, you're gonna have a C-section. So I was like, okay, like what's going on? And they're like, well, you're not dilating, so this isn't safe. You gotta have a C-section. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go in the operating room. They prep me, whatever. I go in the operating room, and they wouldn't let my husband come in there until they had prepped me, which meant for them to cut me open. Well, I was not having that. I could not stop thinking about what they were going to do, like what the C-section involved, and I started like freaking out, and I was like, okay, let my husband come in here because he can calm me down, because they couldn't do the procedure if I'm, freaking out. So they wouldn't let my husband come in there, so they ended up having to put me to sleep because I was just hyperventilating. I was just freaking out. I just couldn't, be calm. So, okay, whatever. So, then my husband, like, neither me or my husband got to actually see our son, like, the moment he was born. Like, my husband got to see him maybe, like, 5 minutes after. Like, it was, it was pretty soon after. But then I was asleep, so I didn't get to see him for, like, about 2 hours after. And during the time that I was put to sleep, I had vomited all over myself. Like, it was just a bad experience. And then waking up, I'm like super like drugged up still, and it was not a pleasant thing. And I had I can't remember if I want to say I had like 13 staples in my stomach. And that was horrible. It was just absolutely horrible. For the whole first day, or for the day after, I think, the whole day after I had my son, I couldn't even get out of bed and go to the bathroom. I couldn't, you know, go take a shower. I couldn't do anything. Like, I had to just sit in the hospital bed, had to have a catheter, and that was it. I couldn't get up because it was just, you know, just the healing process is just like ridiculous. And whereas, you know, I don't know what the healing process involves for people who give natural birth because I've never experienced that. But usually it's a lot quicker of a recovery. Well, for me, I believe I was in the hospital for, I had my son October 26th, 2011 at 5:06 p.m. and I didn't leave the hospital until, that was a Wednesday, I didn't leave the hospital until Friday night, probably around the same time. So I had 2 days of recovery in the hospital, and then I had to go home, and I still had the staples in through the weekend. So then I got them removed Monday, I think Monday morning after that. So yeah, I had the staples in from Wednesday to Monday morning. And it was just really painful. I had to, like, it was actually really embarrassing. I had to have my husband basically, like, give me a shower because, like, I couldn't even bend over. Like, I was just, like, it hurt so bad. And, you know, I was even afraid to, like, look down there. Like, when I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna look and see what is going on, like, I want to see what it looks like, and I just kind of, like, stood up in front of the mirror and looked. Oh, it reminded me of, like, Frankenstein. Like, that's all I could think because of all the staples, and it was just scary looking, and I can't even think about it these days. Like, it's just, ugh. Anyways, so, you know, and I couldn't, you know, at certain points, there was times where, like, I couldn't even really bend over to, like, pick up my son. Like, I had to have everybody, like, help me, like, for the while after I was, like, healing and everything. And it was just, you know, it was a painful experience. And for people on the internet to say that other people that had C-sections aren't real mothers and don't, you know, deserve the respect for giving birth and all that, it's like, really, just because you didn't push out a baby, like, you still had a baby. I actually, like, I'm not saying anything, I'm not discrediting anybody who's actually given natural birth, but from what I can, like, you know, from what I can gather would just be, like, me personally, I would think a C-section would be worse as far as, at least as far as the healing, because I'm telling you, like, there was a lot of pain. And, you know, I just don't think people should be shamed for it. Like, it's not, you know, just because I had a C-section doesn't mean that I'm any less of a person or any less of a mother than what my friend who gave natural birth, you know? You still had a child. Like, regardless, it's still your child, your genes, you know, your bloodline, whatever. It doesn't matter if you gave birth naturally or had a C-section. And a C-section is not taking the easy way out, as some people look at it. It's, you know, it's not like we go into the hospital and be like, okay, I want a C-section, give it to me. No, it's like you go intending to give natural birth, and something somehow happens, you know. There's many different reasons for having a C-section. It's not, you know, like, mine was because I wasn't dilating and the induction didn't work. Okay, well, other people could have it to where, you know, their baby has, like, the umbilical cord wrapped around its neck, and they would die if they waited too long. You know, there's things, or just any emergencies, like, or, you know, the mother can be in danger of dying. You know, there's a lot of things, a lot of factors that play into having a C-section. So I think it's very ridiculous for all these people, and especially the people that, you know, it's a church page that's saying this. I mean, I'm not really that religious, but if you're supposed to be a man of God, wouldn't you think that you would respect everybody equally I mean, God supposedly doesn't judge people, so why are these people taking the initiative to judge people? I think it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's my standpoint on it. I think it's just ridiculous. If you had a C-section or you had a regular birth, you are still an equal mother. It doesn't change how good of a mother you are. It doesn't change anything. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to say on this topic because I've kind of expressed my views on it. So, yeah. Tell me what you guys think. And sorry for my rant. That was just something that's been bugging me because it's just people are ignorant, and it just gets to me because I'm just like, okay, you know, and people that I even have on my Facebook page that I've gone to school with, they shared this picture, which that pissed me off even more because I'm like, I didn't know that I was friends with ignorant people on Facebook, you know. I thought that people I've gone to school with, that I've talked to, that I've been friends with, I thought they would be smarter than to share something so ignorant. But, you know, apparently everybody, to each his own, I guess. It's whatever. So, anyways, yeah, if you have any comments or, I don't know, if you disagree with me, I guess you can comment below, but hopefully the people that are watching this video will agree that a C-section does not make you a bad parent, a bad mother, and it does not make you any less of a mother. It's just different circumstances. So, yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now. So, if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, anything of the above, then please leave it in the box below, and I'll be back with another video soon.